Want to go to the bedroom and give me a 5-finger necklace?
It's like they get worse and worse every episode. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Appropriately Inappropriate with Tara and Brian. You may know us from Instagram or TikTok, where I horrify Brian with dirty pickup lines. But here on this podcast, you get more of us. You get hilarious stories, answering listener questions, as well as anything y'all send us. Make sure to DM or comment with what you like, what you don't like. And if you're not following us on social media yet, you can follow us at Tara Blair Ball on Instagram or TikTok, or at Tara.BlairBall on YouTube. Our full video episodes will also appear on our YouTube channel. We also now offer bonus episodes 3 to 4 times a month for our paid subscribers on Spotify. So, Brian, we let our listeners know last week that we'd be telling them about how we went from met to married in just 8 months. So how did that happen?
So believe it or not, I got game.
True. And
No.
maybe you had a shotgun pointed at your head.
Yeah, not all shotgun weddings are bad. No. So we met and we instantly hit it off. I never planned on getting married again, but I knew for me within 30 days, I'm like, I'm going to marry this woman. So as things progressed, we started having the conversations about possibility of marriage. As things continued to progress, we said, okay, we knew we were going to get engaged. Started looking at rings. I wanted to do something special. You really didn't care. You wanted to get engaged.
I wanted that step and commitment.
Yeah. I was planning a trip to go to Brazil, and the ring still wasn't there. So I proposed with a ring pop. Mm-hmm. We were planning our wedding for fall. And then your landlord threw us a curveball.
When Brian and I met, I was running this tiny little house in this neighborhood in Memphis called High Point. It's a really great little neighborhood. It was wonderful for me after I'd left my twins' father. It just was this great little house I'd rented. It was right around the corner from what's called the Green Line here in Memphis. It was a train track that was paved over and turned into these walking trails. It was really gorgeous. I lived in this tiny little house and I really loved it. As Brian and I were dating, that's where I lived. And when we were talking about getting engaged and then married, I was not going to live with Brian until we were married. I've got kids, Brian has kids. It just was important to both of us that we not live with each other until we were married, until it was official and serious. My landlord put my house up for sale that I was renting.
Without you knowing.
Without me knowing. At the time, I had already lived there for a year, and my lease was now month to month. And I remember I was telling a friend, I think, my address, and they looked it up and saw a Zillow listing for my house. And they ended up texting me like, hey, your house is up for sale. And I look it up, and yes, the house that I am living in, that I had no idea, there wasn't a sign in the front yard or anything, was up for sale. My landlord had recently come into my house to do some maintenance on it, and unbeknownst to me, had actually taken pictures of the inside of my house and then used that in the listing for the house. So once I saw that, I called my landlord and he was like, yeah, I'm putting it up for sale. I will give you 30 days to let you know when you need to move out. So I think I saw the listing in maybe June or something like that. Yeah. At the time, we had actually been planning to go to New York City and get eloped. New York City is a really special place for the both of us. It's where we had an amazing trip together. And so that's where we wanted to go to get eloped. We had planned to go in the fall to do so. But because my landlord had put my house up for sale, we're like, we got to do this sooner rather than later. We originally planned to get married at the Memphis courthouse. There was no plans of us doing any other kind of wedding than eloping. I don't love attention on myself, which you may not realize that from the podcast, but I really prefer quiet, limited people, no crowds, nothing like that. I don't need a big party for me. I really just wanted to start my life with Brian. That's all that I wanted from eloping. So we wanted to get married at the Memphis courthouse, but they had no available dates when we needed. So we ended up choosing a courthouse in Somerville, Tennessee, which is about an hour.
Yeah, probably
an hour outside Memphis is where we got married. I feel like I need to backtrack a little bit. I don't know the moment when I realized Brian was the one, but I think it was pretty close to when in bed he said, "Is that my pussy?" Because I think I think when that happened, I just was like, yeah, it is. No one else's pussy but yours.
Oh my God. I gave permission one time for that to be shared. Oh, okay. I had already bought in a house by this time with the plan of you and the twins moving in. So
Right, right. Yeah. So we knew early on that the other was the one for us. And I still struggled. I had issues with commitment that Brian had to navigate, and Brian handled it admirably. But I had been through a terrible divorce, and my divorce wasn't final when we met. I had filed for divorce in January. We met in November. My divorce wasn't completely final until December. I had moved on. There weren't any dreams or anything of getting back together with my ex. That relationship was completely over, but it was very soon to jump from leaving a marriage to getting into another one. So that very much freaked me out. There were definitely periods where I came to you and was like, maybe we should just stay together and not get married just yet. And you were like, yeah, okay, if that's what you want to do, sure.
I think it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out great. I just was very scared of getting hurt again.
Anybody who's ever been through a first marriage, whether you wanted it done or not, I mean, there is pain and you're going to have reservations. It's part of it.
Brian had more time after his divorce than I had. And I also had friends who were very worried. They were very worried, rightly, not about Brian as a person or anything like that, but they were worried for me because they had seen how destroyed I'd been after my first marriage had ended. They were really worried about me getting into another bad situation because my first marriage had been a bad situation.
Yep, you're 10. I'm getting ready to flip the switch. Like, this is a long-term diabolical. This is how I'm getting you back.
Right. Oh, God. Early on, I remember we were banging a lot. And I remember I had the thought of like, maybe we need to take a break from banging as much, to make sure we really like each other. And that's the funny thing with Brian and I is like, we just really liked each other.
We were best friends. It's not the picture you're painting. Like, we hung out all the time, and that was a
I mean, there's nothing wrong with lots of banging.
I'm not even lifting my hat anymore.
So we went from met to married, and once we got married, my fears of getting fucked over and all that kind of stuff, it really dissipated. I had found my person, and I'm still with that person. It's a joy to be married to you. I still sometimes find it hard to believe that I got so lucky.
You're going to kind of make me choke up here.
Oh.
You say it's a joy being married to me. I bet you there's somebody out there that probably would disagree.
Well, they're not fucking married to you.
No, I tell everybody all the time, I wouldn't trade you for anything. All the horrifying I get around the house, you're my best friend. I'd rather hang out with you than anybody else.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, here we are on a podcast. Here we are doing our content together, and it's a blast. And I think too, I think our followers in particular haven't seen your sense of humor as much as if they've seen mine. So I think a really good example is a text I sent Brian and his response from last week. I had taken a shower before bed, and after I got out of the shower, I was like, I'm going to pick up Brian. Okay, so I sent him a text message from our master bathrooms. It says, hey, I'm clean. Want to make me dirty again? And what did you respond, my love?
He said, sure, tonight's trash night. We got to take out the trash, and while we're out there, we can work on the flower.
So Brian, he dishes it out. He doesn't do the dirty jokes that I do, but like dad jokes and jokes like that, sort of smart assy. He's got those in spades.
Yeah, I like dad jokes. Not a lot of people do. I find them hilarious.
But I mean, that night we,
I think it worked out for you. I'm going to stop right there.
I think we both got the finish that we needed, And you're probably going to say something about how I got my flower bed.
Yep, you get your flower bed out of it. There you go.
Right. And I'm going to respond, well, I did some weeding.
Honey.
Brian got a truck this week.
Yes, I did. So we had made a deal. She wanted a van.
A minivan.
A minivan. Yeah, believe it or not, she loves her minivan. She'd wanted it for years. So we don't like having notes on our vehicles, or at least not having two notes. So I made the agreement to drive her vehicle for an extended period of time under the understanding when we got into the spring, I'd be able to upgrade. We were able to take what we got for my old truck, your minivan, and then now was my time. But you
Yeah,
looked for that minivan for 2 years. I swear you looked every week for 2 years till you found that thing.
I did. I'm very picky.
Yeah, if you have a whole bunch of kids, it's very convenient. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. We have this truck. It's time to christen it. Yeah.
I kind of felt like when we got the truck last night, that conversation or that comment was coming. I just didn't expect it here right now on the podcast. So you did kind of take me by surprise.
We got to fuck in that truck.
Oh my God, honey.
We got to.
Jesus.
You know, some people burn sage to get the negative juju out of things. I think when you make love on something and something, it like brings the love or the juju there. So you just need to juju in me and your truck.
Oh my God.
And it'll be a good situation.
Over the line.
I had to write some truck pickup lines. Some are not totally related to Brian's pickup truck. Like one's, can I play with your Jake brake? Which Brian's truck doesn't have a Jake brake. I'd ride you for the long haul. You know, do you know the difference between me and this truck? I'd happily let you wreck me.
Oh my God. Honey, I'm reliving all these right now. Oh my gosh. I can feel my face red.
Want to park your truck in my garage?
My gosh.
You know, just the tip.
Jesus. You guys have no idea. There is like nowhere for me to run. Like I can't even get off camera right now. I'm like stuck.
I know this isn't a ram, but you want to nickname it that for me tonight? Just ram it in that pussy.
Honey.
So, that's just what I'm going to say to you later tonight. You need some help with your shifter?
Oh my God.
Your truck isn't the only thing that can handle a big load.
It never ends. It never ends. I think all my blood's rushed to my head. I'm about to fall out of this chair.
Well, I can help make your blood rush somewhere else. You can only have blood in one head at once, right?
Yeah, I think we talked about the last episode, like thinking about pranks. Yeah, I think now I'm on board of thinking about them. Oh,
I deserve it. Bring it.
be careful what you ask for.
Just as long as I get what I ask for later.
Oh my gosh, it never stops.
All right. So next episode, we're going to talk about our worst dates before we got lucky in more ways than one and met each other. So make sure to subscribe, download, like, and follow for that. If you aren't following us on social media yet, we're at Tara Blair Ball on Instagram or TikTok and at Tara.BlairBall on YouTube. Our full video episodes are also up on YouTube. And we now offer bonus episodes 3 to 4 times a month for our paid subscribers on Spotify. So check out the show notes for that. And if you like this podcast, also make sure to write a review. Until next time, keep it inappropriate.
Happy hump day.